So, according to Dr. Stephen Greer, the UFO disclosure that we're all seeing play out in public, it's not the real story. He argues that it's all a carefully managed performance, and that behind the scenes, there's a completely different, much darker story unfolding. In this explainer, we're going to unpack his perspective on what's really going on.
Let's dive right in. So Greer presents these two competing narratives. On one hand, you have the disclosure you see on the news, the official hearings, the media reports, all the carefully selected, sanitized information. But on the other hand, he says there's the disclosure that's hidden, the one that's actually about exposing a secret criminal operation. So let's talk about that official story. From Greer's point of view, it's basically one big deception. Let's break down exactly why he thinks the public process is a sham.
Okay, so he does not mince words when it comes to the congressional hearings. He's called them foolish and fake. Why? He says his group gave Congress a list of 50 top-tier, first-hand whistleblowers, and you know what? Not a single one has been called to testify. Instead, he argues, the witnesses they do call only have secondhand or kind of incidental knowledge. It's all designed, in his view, to make sure the really crucial information is deliberately kept out.
And you know, this isn't some new idea for him. He claims he saw this exact scenario playing out way back in the 1990s. He even wrote a paper about it called When Disclosure Serves Secrecy. His argument is that the entire disclosure narrative has been hijacked to protect the very secrets it's supposed to be revealing. Kind of ironic, right? So why is all this critical information being scrubbed? Well, according to Greer, it gets pretty serious. He alleges that it's being enforced with direct threats. He claims operatives have literally gone to members of Congress and told them, do not discuss the man-made technologies. That is how you will get killed.
Right. So if the big cover-up isn't just about hiding aliens, then what is it really about? This is where we get to the core of Greer's claims, a massive, man-made criminal enterprise.
This chart really puts his whole argument into perspective. Greer believes that what most of us think of as the UFO phenomenon is mostly, well, us. He estimates that a massive 80% of it is actually man-made operations and psychological warfare projects. Only about 20%, in his view, is genuinely related to extraterrestrial or non-human intelligence.
You've probably heard the term legacy programs being thrown around. It sounds kind of official, maybe a little dusty. Well, Greer says that's just a polite way of hiding the truth. His definition? They are criminal, unconstitutional, and treasonous programs that have gone wild since the late 50s. And we're talking about some incredibly serious alleged crimes here. He claims these secret programs are involved in everything from embezzling trillions of tax dollars to staging fake abductions and mutilations just to create fear. He even alleges ties to human trafficking, murder, and illegal experimentation. All of it, he says, is done using these reverse-engineered craft and then blamed on aliens.
So, in the face of all this, Greer says his organization isn't just sitting back and watching. They've been running their own secret counter-operation to try and force a different kind of disclosure.
And he describes this really methodical process. His team, which he says includes former Special Forces guys, identifies these potential whistleblowers. Then they vet them, they corroborate their stories, and they collect all the hard testimony and data. Now, here's the key difference in their strategy. Instead of playing along with what he calls the public charade, they take all this evidence and deliver it directly to the top. We're talking senior people in national security, federal law enforcement, and even the executive branch. And is it working? Well, Greer claims this secret briefing process is having a major impact. He even shared a story from one of his team members who said that after these senior officials see the evidence, they have a genuine oh shit moment as they realize the claims are for real.
So, where does all of this lead? Let's take a look at what Dr. Greer says needs to happen next to keep this fight going and get ready for what's to come.
First, a really practical point. An operation like this is not cheap. Greer is very direct about it. He says the operational cost for his Special Forces team runs about $400,000 every 6 months, just to cover things like travel and support.
But it's not just about money. He's also calling for political action from the public. He's urging people to write to their representatives and demand 3 specific things. Call those high-value whistleblowers to testify, use full subpoena power in the hearings, and give these witnesses amnesty and a safe way to come forward.
He's also looking to the future, trying to pivot the whole conversation. He's working on a new film that's designed to move us past all the secrecy and the cover-up and towards what he thinks is the real goal, teaching people how to make peaceful, citizen-led contact.
So what we have here is Dr. Greer's incredibly challenging perspective, a public disclosure that he sees as pure theater, and a hidden disclosure that he claims is exposing a vast criminal enterprise. It really leaves us with a fundamental question, doesn't it? In this whole search for truth, who really decides which story gets told?